segment. So on the medium to longer term, like how many years are we talking about?
If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said by now. To be completely honest, it's taking us a little bit longer than we would like it to. And I think we have said in the past, of course, we've made some mistakes in terms of short-term execution. Of course, from a longer-term strategic perspective, we're 100% comfortable to go into the overseas markets. But a lot of that expansion, of course, was a little bit more opportunistic because that's how the opportunities come. And with that, we have made some errors. It takes us even now a little bit longer than we would like it to be to get to the profitability levels that we're comfortable. I think on a conservative basis, when I talk about medium term, you can see within maybe 3 years' time, us hopefully getting to those levels that we're more comfortable with. I wouldn't expect it this year for sure. There's still some work to do in the overseas markets for sure.
Got it. Thanks for that. And on Malaysia, so why do you like the market, and what do you think is the key reason behind the underperformance and how to
Yeah.
turn this around?
So maybe your last question first. I think we took over in the Malaysian market the business from existing distributors, and that generally just takes a little bit longer because your locations are fixed already. You need to work through the merchandise. So if you look at brands like Foot Locker, Converse, Aldo, these are all taken over from existing distributors, or in the case of Foot Locker, the existing brand principal in country. So that will take us a little bit of time. On top of that, of course, the brands as well, just generally are not the brands that are firing on all cylinders within the global market as well. Converse and Nike, of course, have very well. Nike in Foot Locker is a big part. Very well-known issues, which we're working through as well. So as these brands will improve, our overall performance will be improving. And as we get more comfortable in the market, we will be improving as well. I think even for us, we tend to be a little bit impatient in terms of seeing these brands perform straight away at levels that we're seeing in Indonesia. But going into overseas markets just takes a little bit of time as well. Of course, like I said, we made some execution errors, but it's also just time getting to know the market, making sure your team is in place, making sure the systems are in place, understanding the demand picture as well. So that has taken us a little bit of time in Malaysia. Why we think Malaysia is quite an attractive market is because we feel that the current execution of our direct competitors, and there are not that many well-established direct competitors in that market, is maybe a little bit below of what we're seeing in Indonesia. So we do feel that we can contribute quite a bit to the retail environment in Malaysia, and that will translate into growth and good operating margins for us as well.
Thanks for that. And last quick question on the Philippines. Any guesstimate on what your market share is versus SM Retail?
SM Retail, we will be probably number 2 now, but I wouldn't know the exact data. It depends a little bit how you define the market as well.
Okay. Thanks, Miguel, and thanks, Ibu Rati.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Bo. The next question comes from Bernice. Bernice, you can unmute yourself. Okay.
Why is that me? Okay. Sorry, this Mata.
It's Mata.
That's not Bernice.
That's not Bernice.
Hi,
Mata. Hi, Mata.
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. 3 questions for me. First one, you've talked in the past about sell-through rate. So can you give us some color as we head into fourth quarter? Typically in the fourth quarter, you sell at full prices. How's that looking? I was walking around Planet Sports in Grand Indonesia the other weekend, and it seems like not a lot of discounts. Unfortunately, as I was buying stuff, I bought some shoes and things of that sort, but I guess good for your profitability. So any color
Mata, you can always ask me for a stuff discount, right? You don't have to go shopping by yourself.
Or me, or asking me.
But to your first question, Mata, the Planet Sports is not the typical venue for us to discount anyways, right? Grand Indonesia is a tier 1 market. Generally, after 30% discount, we would actually move that to the likes of sports stations, to other types of consumers in more BC tier locations. But yes, our current discount levels are lower than you saw in the third quarter for sure. But that's not to say, of course, that we're gearing up for actually the November-December period, where you probably will see a little bit more aggressive discounting as well, particularly because of, especially for Map Active, our inventory levels are still a little bit higher than we would like it to be.
Yeah, on that front, how come we didn't see too much of a margin deterioration in the third quarter as you were clearing inventory? Because there was the kind of the buy one, get one free kind of campaign in early August and so forth, right? So any color on that?
I think for us, I mean, there was deterioration. I mean, the steep deterioration that you saw, for example, in the second quarter of 2024, was really driven by very steep discounting in the overseas market, right? And even then, our margins was around 45 point something, if I remember it correctly. So I think 46 is already a little bit at the low side for us in terms of where we want margins to be. But yeah, if you do a Bogov correctly, you don't see necessarily a significant impact on your margin per se.
Yeah, and also I think, if I may, we actually received the newness of the second semester of that queue. Like fall winter collection, not actually winter, but we have new collection as well. So on the other hand, we have the kind of promotions back to school, and back to school is actually formulated because we are having it every year. And BOGO, as Miguel is saying, we have a way that not to mean to deteriorating the GP margin, but actually to even push more sales of the special occasion of Independence Day, and also at the same time in the Turkey we are receiving the newness as well, so that make it a balance of the GP margin.
Okay. Got it. And then the second question is around the cafe and restaurants, or MAPB. I saw that in the third quarter, the at least the segmental revenue was up 5% year-on-year, 4% quarter-on-quarter. You mentioned some recovery earlier. Is the main driver there Starbucks or any other format? And if it was Starbucks, on a sort of per store basis, are you back to the pre-boycott kind of level in terms of sales?
No, nowhere close. But yes, anything that you would see in NBA, of course, is primarily driven by Starbucks, and some of that recovery did come from Starbucks for sure. But we have, like I said before, we have still some way to go to get to levels that we were before the boycott specifically.
Okay. And I think there was one question in